Backlash? Backlash? You're telling me I'm not good enough to call Backlash? That's my best Joey Styles impression. WWE Backlash takes place this Saturday in St. Louis, Missouri at the Enterprise Center. Now, right off the bat, I have to say the crowd in St. Louis is a lot to live up to because last year they were in Lyon, France, and that was the loudest crowd I've ever heard for a WWE show. And then 2 years ago in Puerto Rico was an excellent crowd. Compared to the Lyon crowd, that one was more so into the matches and the show, especially for that Damian Priest Bad Bunny match. And whereas I think the crowd in Lyon was louder, but I think they're kind of more into themselves than to the show. But, you know, we have quite the drop-off going into St. Louis, which isn't necessarily a bad crowd, just it cannot live up to those previous two crowds for Backlash. And I have to say, they have a lackluster card. So maybe WWE deserves a lackluster crowd for that. So let's start off with the only non-title match we have on the show. We have Gunther taking on Pat McAfee, so Gunther's going to win. I just don't know how the match is going to go, but I have no doubt Gunther wins. I think it could just be like a match where McAfee, where Gunther is too arrogant and he makes some mistakes, and McAfee gets some offense and he has some glimmers of hope, but eventually that just gets washed away quickly, and Gunther takes control and wins. Gunther's going to win. The match length probably 5 to 7 minutes, something like that. He'll beat him up, he'll chop him, but then McAfee will get some flashes where he'll take advantage of Gunther making a mistake or being too arrogant, something like that. But I think I'm more interested to see what happens after the match because I think there's a good chance we see the return of Goldberg. I think Goldberg will come out after the match. I think Gunther's going to keep choking out McAfee. It's going to be like Raw. They can't get the sleeper hold off him. He's going to keep attacking him. Then Goldberg makes his big triumphant return. We haven't seen him since Bad Blood. Kind of similar to another legend who also showed up at last year's Bad Blood. We've seen him a couple of times, but he hasn't done anything meaningful. And, I mean, it's funny. We thought, all right, we're going to get Goldberg and Rock. They're both going to have big programs in 2025, and I think we might only get Goldberg, which is much more disappointing. But Goldberg, I think, makes an appearance. I think he'll spear Gunther, and I think it leads to either a match at Saturday Night's Main Event, which is a good choice because that'll draw a big rating, or more likely in Saudi Arabia, which is fine for a main event match there. I wouldn't mind Gunther and Goldberg main eventing Saudi. That could be Goldberg's final farewell match. But I'm picking Gunther to beat McAfee. Next, the United States Championship, a fatal four-way match. Champion Jacob Fatu defends against Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and L.A. Knight. Yeah. So who's winning this? I think it's fairly obvious who's going to win. I don't think anyone's really picking anyone else except for champion Jacob Fatu. I think this will probably be the best match on the whole show. The reason I think it'll be is it's a fatal four-way. They can do a lot. They can smash into barricades, smash into the steps. If you go through an announce booth, there'll be dives to the outside. There'll be a lot of fun stuff here. I think Jacob Fatu is going to be the star. It's going to be a showcase for him. As for Drew, I don't know why he's in this match. He's not going to take the pin. Damian Priest, I mean, he had a good match with Drew, but it seems like he's lost a lot of momentum. And then LA Knight, again, lost a lot of momentum. I think either LA Knight or Damian Priest will take the pin here. Maybe it might be Priest because Knight got pinned by Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. But Fatu wins. I think this will be a great match, though. I think a lot of action. I don't know if it'll be as good as the WrestleMania Fatal 4 with Braun Breaker, Dominik, Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta. But I think it'll be up there. I think this will be a very entertaining match. There'll be a lot of fun spots here. I think it'll probably be the match of the night. And I might even open the show. Could do that, or it doesn't have to. But I'm probably most looking forward to this in terms of an in-ring quality match. This is probably up there. I think it's going to be a great match. And picking Jacob Fatu to retain his title. Next, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra Valkyria defends her title. She is the inaugural champion against her fellow Irishwoman, the man, Becky Lynch, who is heel. She's angry. She's bitter. She's pissed off at everyone. She's taking shots at her former horsewoman friends. She is also doing a gimmick where she's upset that fans are telling her to go away because she's a woman and she's older, but they don't do the same thing for men. So her whole thing is she's resentful to the fans, to everyone. Feels like with Becky, she's trying to recapture the man persona, the man heat the Man Lightning she had in 2018 through 2019 up to the main event of WrestleMania. I just don't think she necessarily has it anymore, but she is a heel here, and the whole thing I think is really to get Lyra Valkyria over, which is going to happen. Lyra Valkyria will go over, just not at Backlash. Becky Lynch is going to win this match. I think this will probably be a very good match. They had a really good match at NXT. So Becky won the NXT Women's title from Tiffany Stratton about a year and a half ago. Then I think the next PLE or so she dropped it to Lyra. That's when Lyra won the belt, and she lost to Roxanne, lost to Julia, who lost to Stephanie Becker. So in this, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good match. I'm wondering how the fans are going to react, because I think it's going to be probably a pro Becky crowd. I think so. They might not like her. It could be some for Lyra, but I think for Lyra, even if they're not into Becky, I don't know how much they're going to be into her. They've been trying with Lyra. They really want to get her over. The problem is she just doesn't have too much charisma. Becky still has more than her in terms of that, in that aspect. But I think Becky is going to win here. She'll win in a heel way. She'll maybe, do something heelish and pin Lyra with that side pump handle slam, and Becky Lynch will be the second official Women's Intercontinental Champion. Next, we go to the Intercontinental Championship. This is the men's belt. We have Dominik Mysterio defending his title against Penta, a man who I think has lost a lot of steam in the last last month or so. Penta, he did lose to Dominik on Raw after WrestleMania. That was kind of weird. They just got pinned, but it wasn't a clean way. I don't think he's lost. I don't think Penta's been pinned clean yet. I don't think it'll happen tonight. I don't think it'll happen on Saturday. I think he'll be pinned, but I think it'll be a heelish way. I am predicting JD McDonough interferes. I think he'll be taken out. Carlito will interfere. He'll be taken out by Penta as well. Then you might even have Raquel trying to interfere. Livs won't be there because she's filming a movie in Japan right now. But then the whole thing's Finn Balor, and there's going to be a tease where Finn's about to turn on Dom. They're going to tease it. They're going to tease tension with Finn and Dom, but eventually someone else will interfere, probably JD, and it'll screw up Finn almost. It'll basically be a thing where Finn's almost going to cost Dom the match, but then someone else will interfere on Dom's behalf, and Dom will retain. So I'm picking Dominik Mysterio to retain the Intercontinental Championship. He just won at WrestleMania, got a huge pop, and I'm also interested to see the fan reaction in this match. It's not a WrestleMania crowd, so I don't think it'll be as favorable to Dom as Mania was, but I think you could have a situation where Penta not necessarily gets booed, but I think there's be more into Dom because he's more over right now. But I think Dom's keeping the belt. Next, the main events, the Undisputed WWE Championship. John Cena defends his championship. He is a 17-time world champion, record-setting 17-time champion, against his greatest rival. Man, he's probably had more matches with than anyone else. Randy Orton, who was in his hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. I'm sure his father will be there in attendance. Cowboy Bob Orton, or his grandfather might be there as well. I think it'll be a big thing. As for the fan reaction, before I get into who wins, I think it'll be a Randy crowd. I think it'll be pro-Randy. Cena really hasn't been getting cheered outside of WrestleMania week. He's been booed ever since. He got cheered kind of on that SmackDown before Mania, then WrestleMania he was cheered heavily over Cody. Raw, they were really into him the night after. But other than that, he's been booed. He's been booed on every other city. They're not into him, and it's Randy's in this home city. It's going to be very pro-Randy. I think it'll be an anti-Cena, pro-Orton crowd. And this is the first time where Cena's a heel and Orton's a face. That's never happened before. It's always the other way around. So who wins? I think it's obvious who's winning this match. I think it's more of a situation of who's going to interfere. And who wins, by the way, John Cena is going to beat Randy Orton. He's retaining the title. I think who interferes, I really hope we don't get Travis Scott, but unfortunately he is training with Booker T. The Rock has been hyping him up. He really wants to see Travis Scott in the ring. WWE, whether Triple H wants it or not, is going to book Travis Scott in a match one day. It'll probably be a tag team match in which Travis Scott teams with John Cena against Cody Rhodes and maybe Bad Bunny. That's probably what we're going to get in the future, unfortunately. And I don't want to see that, but I think that's what we're going to get one day. He'll interfere, unfortunately. I see Travis Scott. We're going to hear the Fiend. Oh, the thing's ingrained in my head. I hate that. That's the worst WrestleMania theme song, by the way, ever. Fiend, for probably one of the worst main events of all time. Oh, I hate Travis Scott, but Travis Scott's going to make an appearance. They're going to boo him like crazy. I don't think Cody appears. I don't think we'll see Cody Rhodes. But I think Randy's going to RKO Travis. Fans are going to go crazy. Then we're going to see a similar repeat of the WrestleMania finish where Cena eventually wins in a heelish way. He'll use the belt, and Cena's going to pin Orton, and he'll retain the title, but maybe Orton lays him out with an RKO to end the show. But I think John Cena wins, and that's how Backlash is going to end. I have to say, not a good card at all. We've seen so many better cards for Backlash in the last couple of years, last few years even. There's been so many better Backlashes than what we're getting this year, but that's just what WWE gave us this year. We'll see what happens. I'm more interested to see some of the PLEs and the direction post-Backlash. I think Money in the Bank will be taken more seriously, and certainly, obviously, SummerSlam, but Backlash just seems like a show we just have to get through. So maybe we got a good show. It'll be interesting to see the main event. There'll be a lot of bells and whistles. Just hope it's better than the last John Cena match, because that's my biggest concern with Cena is how slow he is in the ring. But those are my predictions, and hopefully we get a good show this Saturday night.